So what is your opinion on that question? Should parents be allowed to spank their children? Do you agree or do you disagree?
On the children.
Yes. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. Well, like in an online Zoom. Like here, the children will play games where teacher wouldn't notice. The parent would spy them either.
So you agree because you think it helps the parents keep their children in line?
Yes.
Keeps them doing the right thing.
Then when the children grow up, they will just have an easy job.
Okay. So you think that...
And when I grown up, I would not want to take my position as a trash woman.
So you think it helps keep children disciplined so they study hard and they can grow up to get good jobs and not become trash collectors?
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Lucia. Well done. Next up, can I please have LaRue?
Hello.
Hello, LaRue. Can you please give me your opinion on the following question? Should all students be required to take a class on public speaking? Do you think yes or no?
Yes, because no, I think no, because I don't think most of the children would want to be, because it is hard and they are really shy from speaking in front of real in front of the public. So I don't think so.
So you don't think children should have to take a class in public speaking because some children are shy and they might not want to?
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you for your opinion, but let me just give you something to think about that topic. If children don't learn to overcome their shyness and learn to speak in public, how will they ever overcome their shyness? Just something to think about. But thank you very much for your opinion, LaRue. Okay, next up, can I please have Ben?
Yes, teacher.
Hello, Ben. Can you please tell me your opinion? Is winning the most important factor when it comes to playing sports? Oop, you've muted yourself again.
Can you repeat the topic? I can hear clearly.
Absolutely. Is winning the most important factor when it comes to playing sports?
Winning is the most important.
So the question is winning the most important thing about playing sports?
I think I disagree with this.
And why do you disagree?
Because winning is just some encouraging for us to play sports. But the most important thing is they make our health better. We make us stronger, so we can work out more and work more without getting tired.
So you think that while winning is important, the most important part is getting healthy and strong by playing sports?
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Ben. Well done. Next up, can I please talk to Jenny?
Hello.
Hello, Jenny. So my question that I have for you is, should playing video games be considered a sport? Do you agree or disagree?
I think that playing video games, I think it's okay to define it as a sport because it also requires thinking, like sometimes thinking or using the hands, or sometimes you even use the whole body to play computer games. That's it.
Okay, so you think that playing video games should be considered a sport because it helps develop your mental skills, your hand-eye coordination, and sometimes you have to use your whole body to play a game. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Well done. I have time to ask one more person. So I will ask Edna, please.
Yes.
Hello, Edna. My question for you is, what is your opinion on this topic? Is social media beneficial to society?
I think yes.
And how do you think so?
I think that because these days AI is growing up and we use a lot of internet, so it depends on how much time we use internet, and sometimes it can make us be strange to wildlife, and you will stick with your phone all day, and sometimes it will make it will have bad benefits, and that will make us be less healthy.
So you think social media can be beneficial if we use it enough, but not too much, but
Yeah.
it can also be some negative effects as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Edna. Well done. Well done, everybody. Thank you for your opinions. Next up, I would like to, first of all, I want to get everybody to get out a pen and some paper, because we are going to discuss some important definitions of words that relate to debating. So, and I'll send some documents for homework in the Zalo group after class. So I'm going to write these words, and the first word, sorry, I'm just connecting my keyboard here. The first word that I have for everybody is debate. And the definition of a debate is a structured conversation or a structured discussion where opposing viewpoints are presented and arguments are made. So essentially what that means is that there is a specific order to how and during that discussion, you have two sides. One agrees with the topic and one that disagrees with the topic, and both sides will offer their points of view with arguments and statistics and information that supports their point of view. And that is a word number 2 is theme. Theme. And the theme is the central topic or subject of the debate. So the theme is, so for example, if the topic that was up for debate was, is social media beneficial for society? The theme would be technology and ethics, for example. So the theme is like the main topic of the topic that is up for discussion, main category of the topic that is up for discussion. Okay. The third is interlocutor. And that's just appeared in the chat now. And the interlocutor is the person who moderates the debate and ensures a fair and respectful decision is made. So a debate is judged by a panel of judges, and those judges have to follow rules when they make their decision about who wins. And the interlocutor is the person who makes sure the judges follow rules of deciding who wins. So they ensure there's no favoritism, they ensure that there's no cheating, they make sure that the judges follow the rules. Okay, our next word is motion. And the motion is the statement or topic that is being debated. We will make these distinctions more clear in the next couple of lessons that you have. So there is a difference between the motion, the topic, and the theme. And we'll go into more detail about that later on. We've got Dr. Lucia doing surgery. She's got a surgical mask on. Okay. Our next word is proposition. And the proposition is the team or the individual who supports the motion and presents arguments in favor of it. So the proposition is just a fancy way of saying the affirmative team. They agree with the topic of the debate. And our next word is opposition. And the opposition is the team or the individual who opposes the motion and presents arguments against it. So the opposition is a fancy way of saying the negative team. They disagree with the topic of the debate. Our next term, just typing it out here, it's quite a long one, is teal paragraph structure. And the teal paragraph structure is going to become a very important part of learning to debate, because the teal paragraph structure is going to teach you how to formulate persuasive arguments. It's basically an order of writing. And that order of writing is this. You start with a topic sentence. So the topic sentence introduces what you are about to talk about. That is then followed by an explanation. I'm going to put this in the chat as well. So we have topic sentence, we have explanation. And the explanation is like expanding on the topic sentence. That is where you go on to further describe your point of view. Following the explanation comes the evidence. And the evidence is where you will quote any statistics, or where you will quote any evidence, any quotes, statistics, scientific research you may need to use to help the audience and the judges agree with your point of view. And lastly is the linking sentence. And the linking sentence is a way to neatly tie in your current topic with the next topic that you're going to talk about. So for example, you wouldn't just say, these are my facts on rocket ships. I think we should travel to the moon doing this. And then in the next sentence, in the next topic, you wouldn't just say, oh, well, I think apples are my favorite fruit. It doesn't tie in very well. Okay, our next word is ethos. And ethos is an appeal to ethics or credibility to persuade the audience. So when you're speaking, when you're presenting evidence, it is important to tell the audience from a scientific study. Did it come from a government website? Who said it, basically? By letting the audience know who said the statistics that you're using, you use ethos, and it makes your argument more credible, makes it more believable. Our next word is pathos. And pathos is an appeal to emotions to persuade the audience. So if you're talking about an issue that makes you really angry, and you're really passionate about this issue, and it makes you angry to talk about it, you can use pathos to make the audience feel what you're feeling. And if you can make them feel how you feel about this issue, then you have a much stronger chance of getting them on your side, which is what you want. You want to convince people to be on your side in a debate. And getting them to feel can be a very good strategy to use to do that. Our next word is logos. And logos is an appeal to logic and reasoning to persuade the audience. So using logos is where you structure your argument in a way that makes sense to the audience. So they are listening to what you're saying. And if you can get them to follow along with you, so if you're giving me your argument and I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, that makes sense. Yep, I agree with that. Yeah, no, I believe this person. You see, I'm getting more into your argument if you're structuring it with logic and reasoning. That can be a very strong tool to use as well. Our next word is matter. And matter is the content or substance of the arguments presented in a debate. I'll say that one again. Matter is the content or substance of the arguments presented in a debate. So matter is what you say, the words you say. Our next word is method. Not security, I want chat. So our next word is method. And method is the strategy or approach used to present arguments in a debate. So the method is how you say, the method is the order of what you say. So if I have, for example, going back to rocket ships, if I was talking about rocket ships, for example, I couldn't mention what they were doing up in space unless I had told you how they take off from the ground first. So the method is how you structure your argument to allow the audience to follow along with what you're saying. Our next word is manner. And manner is the style or delivery of the arguments in a debate. So manner is basically how you say what you say. It's your tone of voice. It's your facial expressions. It's your body language. So if you're happy about something that you're talking about in a debate, you wouldn't want to kind of sit there like that and kind of talk like this because it makes it seem like you don't really care and you're sad. Or if you're angry about something, you don't want to be talking about it like this, all happy. So your manner needs to match up to what you're talking about and how you feel about it. All right, 2 more definitions, guys. We're nearly there. You're doing well. Our next word is the team line. And the team line is the main argument offered or the position taken by a debating team. So as we talked about before, with the theme versus the topic versus the motion, you can be talking about the same theme, but be talking about a completely different topic to do with that theme. So the team line is there to make sure that every member of the team is working together to create arguments that follow a single line of logic so that you can present the strongest argument possible, so that it makes sense, and so that people understand it. Okay, and your last word, your last definition is the team split. So the team split is the distribution of arguments and responsibilities amongst team members. So I'll say that one again. The team split is the distribution of arguments and responsibilities amongst team members. So there can be lots of different arguments and points of view that support the same side of a debate. So the team split is how you divide those arguments. So for example, if we take the social media argument, is social media beneficial to society? If I was to agree with that, some of the arguments I could say is it helps people connect with friends and relatives around the world. That's one argument. Another one is it helps businesses to advertise to customers all around the world. Another one is it helps up and coming artists and celebrities to reach their audience and entertain their fans. So those are three different arguments about the same topic. So the team split would be, the first speaker would address the friends and family issue. The second speaker would address businesses and how they can connect with customers. And the third speaker would then speak about celebrities connecting with their fans. So that's how you divide the arguments up amongst your team. Okay, you guys did absolutely fantastic holding in with me there. So we have covered the definitions and the elements of debate. We've done that very, very well. Now, we are going to discuss some example. We're going to discuss some more example debate topics. So this is the part where I want to hear from you guys a bit more. I know it's a lot to take in, but our second lesson onwards gets easier. So this is the part where I want to hear from you. So Star, I haven't heard from you yet today. So the topic that I would like you to consider and give me your opinion on is, does money lead to happiness?
I think money don't lead to happiness because we need love from our family. So if we have money and love, it's good and better than. But if we have money but don't have lover in our family, it's not good. So I think love is good than money, and maybe money don't give us happiness.
Okay, so you think that money is important, but love and family support is more important than money,
Yeah.
and it leads to
Yes.
better happiness.
Yes.
Okay, terrific. Thank you very much, Star. Very well said. Jelly. Hello. Your topic, is it better to be an only child or to have siblings? So to have brothers and sisters, which one is better?
In my opinion, I think siblings is better because we only child. When we leave home alone, like parents go to work, don't have anyone to play with, so have siblings is more fun, and maybe they will help us with our problem. I think so.
Okay, so you think it is better to have siblings because when your parents have to go to work, you can spend your time with your siblings and you can help each other do things. Is that correct?
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Jelly. Well said. Okay, next up, can I please speak to Emma? Emma, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Terrific. The question I would like to ask you and get your opinion on, should education be free for everybody?
if education is be free for everybody, means everybody can get that education and without going through hard working time as like learning to get that education. So I think it's best for them that they study for the education more than anybody can get that education.
So you think that education should be free so that there is not as much financial struggles put on families to afford education for their kids. Is that correct?
Yeah, if the family is poor and maybe they can't afford that education for their kids to study.
Oh, very, very well said. Thank you very much for your opinion, Emma. Okay, next up, can I please have Edna?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Edna. The topic I would like you to discuss is homework necessary to facilitate education?
What is facilitate education?
Pardon?
What is facilitate education?
Sorry, so I'll rephrase the question. So is homework necessary to help students with their education?
I think yes. Lots of children they will be really lazy to spend time on learning, like me. So if the teacher, we need help from the teacher and the family too. When the teacher gives us the homework, sometimes they need to be stronger to make us feel a little bit afraid of them so that we can spend time on learning and doing homework. Our family will help us when we have a problems when doing homework. So in that case, our study and the information that we get at school will be higher, and the much time we spend on learning, we can understand more for the next topic at school, so that we can spend less time doing homework. I think so.
Okay, so you think homework is important to help students with their education because sometimes students can be a bit lazy and they sometimes need a bit more help to learn what their teachers taught them. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Terrific. Thank you very much for your opinion, Edna. I saw Ben, you had your hand up. Did you have a question?
No, I'm not.
You had your hand up. Oh, you've put it down now anyway. Okay. Next up, is there anybody that I haven't? Oh, David. I haven't asked you for an opinion yet.
Yes.
Can you please give me your opinion on the following topic?
The debate.
Should every student learn how to swim?
I think, in my opinion, I think yes, because if they go to the beach, they will, they must know how to swim, and if there's dangerous things in the beach, they can swim away and not get, and they're not in danger, and they can help themselves.
Very good. So you think that all students should learn how to swim
Yes,
so that they can save themselves at the beach if they encounter any danger?
yes. That's it.
Very good. Thank you very much for your opinion, David. Well said. Is there anybody else that I haven't asked for an opinion yet? So can you just raise your hand like that if I have not asked you for an opinion yet? Terrific. I think we've covered everybody. Well done, guys. That was very, very well done.
Teacher, how about that? What name is Vin? You have to call him.
Vin. I don't know.
There he is.
Hang on, let me. I have just sent a message to Miss Dorothy. We'll find out in a moment. Okay, so for now, very well done to everybody offering their opinions. It's good to see you get your brains thinking about these topics. So over the coming, I'd say probably few weeks, a few months, we're really going to learn each separate part of debating. So you're going to get a really good understanding of how an entire debate works. We're going to have a few vocabulary lessons in here as well to discuss debating specific language. So the terms that you need to use, what you should call different things. And we're also going to have some practice sessions to really practice the things we're learning as well. So now I'm going to throw it over to you guys. If anybody has a question that you would like to ask me, can you please raise your hands? And I'll answer your questions in the order that I get them in.
What's the back give us?
Sorry, 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry about that, Star. So your question was, what can debating teach us, or what can debating give us? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, very good question. So debating itself is quite a specific task. So debating won't give you anything in the rest of your life, but the skills, so the individual skills that you need to be able to debate well, so things like critical thinking, analytical thinking, effective communication, using your creating persuasive arguments, all of these skills, they will have a massive impact on your life. So they will help you with your studying as you grow up, go through school, get to university. Those skills will help you with your studies there. They will help you analyze problems that you need to solve when you grow up and get a job. They will help you get a job, because if you can persuasively talk to the person hiring you when you go to get a job, you can persuade them to hire you and give you the job. So there are many, many advantages to learning how to debate because there are a lot of very valuable skills that debating can teach you. So thank you for that terrific question, Star. Does anybody else have a question that they would like to ask?
Me. So
Hello,
what?
Edna.
Yeah, hello. So I would ask that what will we do when we need time, we are on the debate and we need time to think, but it's our turn to talk. Or sometimes we don't have anything to debate. So what should we do?
Good question. So over this lesson and I think a little bit of your second lesson, which will be on Monday, these are pretty much the only times that I'm going to ask for a quick opinion on something where I just like, here's the question, answer it now. But the further we go with these lessons, the more I'm going to teach you how to conduct research and formulate your arguments before I ask you a question. So you will be given time to work out your arguments, work out your points of view. And yeah, I'm not just going to go, what do you think of this? Quick. These are more just like ice-breaking activities to get your brains trying to work. But in a regular debate, you will be given, usually in a normal debate, when you are competing in person, you will be given like a couple of weeks to do your research, get together with your team, work out what arguments you want to make. So I'm going to give you similar opportunities to develop your arguments. So thank you for your question, Edna. Hopefully I put your mind at ease. In any real debate situation, you will be given the proper amount of time to come up with something to say. Does anybody else have a question that they would like to ask? Okay, so if we don't have any more questions, let's recap and summarize the lesson that we've had today. So who can tell me something that they've learned from today's lesson?
Can I? So we have learned about theme,
Very good.
motion, proposition, opposition, TL paragraph structure.
Good. Can you give me the
Logos.
definition? Can you give me the definition of a few of these words, please?
Okay, so theme, like the technology and main topic of the topic for discussion.
Good.
The motion, like a statement or a topic.
Very good. And give me one more definition, please, Edna.
Opposition is like propose the motion, like support the negative team. And the logos, like logos, I don't know how to spell it, but pronounce it, but it's like appeal to logics and reasoning.
Edna, that was incredible. Thank you very much. All right, Jenny is next. She's put her hand up. What would you like to add to the discussion, Jenny? What's something that you learned today?
I learned some more vocabulary. and their
Terrific.
definition.
Terrific. Could you give me a couple of the new words that you've learned, please?
I've learned the all the words that you like you gave us today, but two of them are matter is the content of argument presented, and the manner is the style or the delivery, like the body language when we debate.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Jenny. I'm glad you've learnt those things today. Well done. Does anybody else have anything that they'd like to contribute? Tell us something that they've learnt today.
We learn about proportion and oppositions.
Very good.
And two
And what?
paragraph structure.
Very good. Okay, so in the group, I'll post some of these documents that I've worked from today. So they'll have the definitions. They'll have a few other rules for debating. So something that I would like to quickly discuss with you before I give you your homework. Don't worry, it's not a big piece of homework. It's just something to prepare for our next class. So the topic I would like to discuss with you is debate etiquette and guidelines. And etiquette and guidelines basically just means the rules about how to behave appropriately when we're debating. So our first rule, I've got seven rules for you. So debate provides an opportunity for constructive discussions and the exchange of ideas. To ensure a fair and respectful environment, it is important to follow certain guidelines. Number one is to be respectful. Listen attentively to others' opinions without interrupting. Avoid personal attacks and derogatory language. So don't pick on somebody for what they're wearing or for how their hair looks, and don't use swear words. That's what that one means. And treat all participants with courtesy and respect, even if you disagree with their views. Number two is use evidence. Support your argument with credible evidence, facts, statistics, or examples. Clearly state the source of your information to enhance the credibility of your points. So if you don't state your sources, then people will definitely think that you've just made them up to try and prove your point, and they won't believe you. But if you turn around and say, these statistics that I got from the government website based on a study of whatever you're going to give the statistics on, quoting that source makes people listen and go, oh, well, they've quoted the government, or they've quoted this person. Let's hear what they have to say, and they're more likely to believe you. And the third point is avoid using unsupported opinions or assumptions. So if you just think something is true, but you haven't found any evidence to prove that it is true, don't use it in a debating argument, because again, people won't believe you. Number three, stay on topic. Focus on the motion or the topic being debated and avoid going off on unrelated tangents. So that comes down to the team line we were discussing. If speaker one, speaker two, speaker three, speaker one doesn't want to start talking and then kind of just go off over here on a completely different subject. Stick to the topics so that your teammates can continue your arguments. Strive to address the key arguments and points related to the motion. And if necessary, ask for clarification or provide clarification to ensure a common understanding. So basically, if you don't understand something about the debate topic, ask someone for help to get them to explain it to you. Or if somebody else doesn't understand the debate topic, but you do, help them and help them understand what the topic is. Number 4, be concise. Present your arguments clearly and succinctly. In other words, get to the point. Don't beat around the bush. Use logical and well-structured sentences to convey your point effectively. So make sure your sentences make sense, make sure the information in them makes sense, and make sure that you're you'll always debate in English. So make sure that you are using proper English and use well-structured sentences. Avoid unnecessary repetition or excessive use of jargon that may confuse the audience. So jargon is industry-specific language. So for example, I used to be a ballroom dancing teacher. So if I was to talk to you guys now about make sure you use your rise and fall and use the correct sway and make sure your footwork's right, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. So that's jargon because it's special language that I use as a dance teacher. So try and avoid using stuff like that. Number 5, give everybody a chance. Allow all participants to express their viewpoints and contribute to the discussion. So make sure everybody gets a chance to say something. Listen actively to others' arguments and be open to considering a different perspective. So what that means is make sure you're paying attention when somebody else talks, because they might teach you something that you didn't know, and that might change your mind about a topic. Avoid dominating the conversation and provide opportunities for quieter participants to speak up. So if you talk really, really loud and you talk over people, try and avoid doing that, so that somebody that may be a little bit more shy and quiet when they talk, give them a chance to say something as well. Everyone should be able to share ideas when we debate. Number 6 is constructive criticism. Engage in constructive criticism by addressing the merits of an argument rather than attacking the person presenting it. So if you don't agree with something that somebody has said, make sure that you criticize the argument that they have made and try and find faults or problems with that so that you can create good counter arguments. Don't just, if the person said something, don't go, well, they're a duty head. Meh. Try and stick to the argument. Don't attack the person making the argument. Provide feedback that helps refine an argument and encourages further discussion. So if you think you know something about the argument that the other person doesn't, offer them the suggestion so that they can fine tune their arguments better, and you can discuss the topic in more detail. So we've got a couple of minutes left to go, guys, and then I've got some homework for you. Maintain a positive and collaborative tone throughout the debate. So keep your chin up, try and be happy, and make sure that you're willing to work with and share information with other debaters. And our final point is time management. Adhere to the time limit specified for each speaker or segment of the debate. So there is a timekeeper in the debates, and they will be timing you with a stopwatch. And if you talk for longer than the video, just make sure you plan your speeches and your arguments to last as you're given. Respect the timekeeper's instructions. So same thing, basically, make sure you keep your argument to within time given, and use your time while presenting arguments, going for rebuttals. So if you have to make a counter argument to something and present the arguments that you want to make. Remember, debate is an opportunity to learn, develop critical thinking skills, and foster effective communication. By adhering to these guidelines, we can create
Is he on? Vẫn open your mic.
Các bạn đợi chút xíu nha, chắc thầy bị mất internet rồi đó. Thầy vào rồi.
Just saw my microphone was muted.
Yeah.
So remember, debate is an opportunity to learn, develop critical thinking skills, and foster effective communication. By adhering to these guidelines, we can create a productive and respectful debating environment. So your homework for this class due on Monday, like I said, it's not very much. It's just something to get your brains thinking about debate. So think of a motion you would like to debate in class. It can be any topic you find interesting or relevant. Write that motion down along with a brief explanation of why you chose it. So I'm going to share my screen here. Think about the motion you chose and try to come up with arguments for both the proposition and the opposition side of the debate. Be prepared to present your motion and the reasoning behind it in the next lesson. So as you can see here, I've made up a little worksheet. And so you're going to write in the top line there, the motion for the debate that you would like to have is, and then below it, you'll see a few lines to write the reason that you want to have this debate. And then below that, you'll see 3 lines to come up with 3 arguments for the proposition side of the argument. So remember, that is the side that agrees with the motion. And then you have 3 lines to come up with some arguments for the opposition to the debate. So I'm going to send that worksheet through to the Zalo group. And remember, everybody, that when you debate, you are not arguing for what you actually believe in real life. When you debate, you may be put on the team that you don't agree with, but you still have to find arguments to support that side anyway. It's more about learning to argue and learning to develop arguments. So thank you very much for your time today, guys. I'll see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will post the homework shortly in the Zalo group. Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, Miss.
Goodbye, teacher.
See you next week, Monday. Next Monday. Bye.